Parshat Vayishlach. Then Jacob sent messengers before him to his brother Esau, to the land of Seir, the field of Edom. He also commanded them, saying, "This is what you shall say to my lord, to Esau. This is what your servant Jacob said. I've been staying with Laban and have lingered until now. Now I've come to possess oxen and donkeys, flocks, male servants and female servants. I sent word to tell my lord in order to find favor in your eyes." The messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We went to your brother, to Esau, and he's also coming out to meet you, and 400 men with him." So Jacob became extremely afraid and distressed. He divided the people with him, along with the flocks and herds and camels, into 2 camps. For he thought, if Esau comes to one camp and strikes it, the camp that's left will escape. Then Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, Adonai, who said to me, 'Return to your land and to your relatives, and I will do good with you.' I am unworthy of all the proofs of mercy and of all the dependability you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed over this Jordan, and now I've become 2 camps. Deliver me, please, from my brother's hand, from Esau's hand, for I'm afraid of him that he'll come and strike me, the mothers, with the children. You yourself said, 'I will most certainly do you good, and will make your seed like the sand of the sea that cannot be counted because of its abundance.'" So he stayed overnight there. Then from all that had come into his possession he took an offering for Esau his brother: 200 female goats, 20 billy goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milking camels with their young, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 male donkeys. He put them in the hands of his servants, each herd by itself. And he said to his servants, "Pass over before me, and put a gap between each of the herds." Then he commanded the first one, saying, "When my brother Esau meets you and asks you, saying, 'To whom do you belong, and where are you going, and to whom do all these before you belong?' then you are to say, 'To your servant, to Jacob, it's an offering sent to my lord, to Esau. And look, he's also behind us.'" And he also commanded the second one and the third one, and all those who were going behind the flock, saying, "Say the exact same thing to Esau when you find him. Then you are to say, 'Look, your servant Jacob is also behind us.' For he thought, 'Let me appease him with the offering that goes ahead of me, and afterward see his face. Perhaps he'll lift up my face.' So the offering passed over ahead of him, while he spent that night in the camp. Then he got up that night, took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, and he sent across whatever he had. So Jacob remained all by himself. Then a man wrestled with him until the break of dawn. When he saw he had not overcome him, he struck the socket of his hip. So he dislocated the socket of Jacob's hip when he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the dawn has broken." But he said, "I won't let you go unless you bless me." And he said to him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he said. Then he said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but rather Israel, for you have struggled with God and men, and have overcome." Jacob asked and said, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "What is this? You ask my name?" And he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life has been spared. Now the sun rose upon him just as he crossed by Peniel, limping because of his hip. That is why the children of Israel do not eat the tendon of the hip socket to this very day, because he struck the socket of Jacob's thigh on the tendon of the hip. Chapter 33. Then Jacob glanced up and saw, behold, there was Esau coming and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. He put the female servants and their children first, then Leah and her children behind them, then Rachel and Joseph behind them. But he himself passed on ahead of them, and bowed to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him, hugged him, fell on his neck, kissed him, and they wept. His eyes glanced up, and he saw the women and children, and said, "Who are these with you?" "The children whom God has graciously given your servant," he said. Then the female servants approached, they and their children, and bowed down. Leah also approached, along with her children, and they bowed down. And finally Joseph and Rachel approached and bowed down. "What do you mean by this whole caravan that I've met?" So he said, "To find favor in your eyes, my lord." But Esau said, "I have plenty, O my brother. Do keep all that belongs to you." Yet Jacob said, "No, please. If I have found favor in your eyes, and you will take my offering from my hand. For this is the reason I've seen your face. For it is like seeing the face of God, and you've accepted me. Please take my blessing that was brought to you, because God has been gracious to me, because I have everything." So he kept urging him until he accepted. Then he said, "Let's journey and be on our way, and I'll go ahead of you." He continued, "My Lord knows that the children are tender, and that the flocks and cattle in my care are nursing. So if they were pushed hard just one day, the flocks would die. Please let my Lord pass on ahead of your servant, and I'll move on further gradually, at a pace suited to the livestock that are before me, and at a pace suited to the children, until I come to my Lord and Seir." Then Esau said, "Please let me leave with you some of the people who are with me." But he said, "What is this? Let me find favor in my Lord's eyes." So on that day Esau returned on his way to Seir. But Jacob journeyed to Sukkot and built a house for himself, and for his livestock he made booths. That is the reason the place is called Sukkot. So Jacob arrived in Shalom to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram and camped right in front of the city. He purchased the portion of the field there, where he had pitched his tent, from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. There he set up an altar, and he called it El, is Israel's God. Chapter 34. Now Dinah, Leah's daughter, whom she bore for Jacob, went out to look at the daughters of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, he took her and lay with her and raped her. But his soul clung to Dinah, Jacob's daughter, and he loved the young woman and spoke reassuringly to the young woman. So Shechem said to his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this girl for a wife." Now Jacob had heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, while his sons were with his livestock in the field. So Jacob kept quiet until they came in. Meanwhile, Shechem's father Hamor went out to Jacob in order to speak with him. Jacob's sons had already come in from the field when they heard, and the men were deeply grieved and furious, because he had committed a vile deed in Israel by laying with Jacob's daughter, which ought never be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, "My son Shechem, he is very attached unto your daughter. Please give her to him for a wife. Intermarry with us. You can give your daughters to us. You can take our daughters for yourselves. You can live with us, and the land will be open to you. Live in it, move about freely in it, and settle down in it." Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, "Would that I find favor in your eyes. Whatever you say to me, I'll give. Set the dowry and the presents as high as you like, and I'll give whatever you say to me. But give me the young woman as a wife." But Jacob's sons answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully as they spoke, because he had defiled their sister Dinah. They said to him, "We can't do this thing. giving our sister to a man who is uncircumcised, for that is a disgrace to us. Only by this will we consent to you. If you will become like us by circumcising every male, then we'll give our daughters and take your daughters for ourselves, live with you and become one people. But if you don't listen to us and be circumcised, we'll take our daughter and leave." Now their words seemed good to Hamor, as well as Hamor's son Shechem. So the young men did not hesitate to do it, since he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Now he was honored above everyone else in his father's house. So Hamor and his son Shechem came to their gate of the city and spoke to the men of their city, saying, "These men are enjoying a peaceful relationship with us, and they are living in the land and moving about freely in it. As for the land, look, it's spread out on both sides before us. We can take their daughters to be our wives, and we can give our daughters to them. But by this did these men consent to us to live with us and to become one people, when all our males are circumcised as they are circumcised. Their livestock and their possessions, won't they be ours? Only let us consent to them, so that they'll live with us." Now everyone who went out of the gate of his city listened to Hamor and to his son Shechem, and every male was circumcised, every one who went out the gate of his city. When on the third day, while they were in pain, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and came against the city undisturbed and killed every male. Hamor and his son Shechem they killed with the sword, and took Dinah from Shechem's house and left. Jacob's sons came upon the slain and plundered the city, because they defiled their sister. They took their flocks, their cattle, and their donkeys, those that were in the city as well as those in the field, all their wealth, their little children and their wives, captured and plundered, as well as everything that was in the houses. But Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought great trouble on me, making me a stench among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. I am but a few men. They'll gather against me and strike me, then I'll be destroyed, my household and I." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" Chapter 35. And God said to Jacob, "Get up, go up to Bethel and stay there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his household and to everyone who was with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods that are among you. Cleanse yourselves and change your clothes. Now let us go up and go to Bethel, so that I can make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and has been with me in the way that I have gone." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods in their hand and the rings in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak tree near Shechem. Then they journeyed, and the terror of God was on the cities that were around them, so they did not pursue Jacob's sons. Then Jacob arrived at Luz, and the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and all the people who were with him. He built an altar there and called the place El Bethel, because God had revealed himself to him there when he fled from the presence of his brother. Then Rebekah's nurse Deborah died, so was buried below Bethel under the oak, so it was named the Oak of Weeping. God appeared to Jacob again after he returned from Padan Aram, and he blessed him. God said to him, "Your name was Jacob. No longer will your name be Jacob, for your name will be Israel." So he named him Israel. God also said to him, "I am El Shaddai. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and an assembly of nations will come from you. From your loins will come forth kings. The land that I gave to Abraham and to Isaac, I give it to you, and to your seed after you I will give the land." Then God went up from him at the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a memorial stone in the place where he had spoken with him, a stone pillar, and he poured a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. Jacob named the place where God spoke with him Bethel. Then they traveled from Bethel, and while they were still a distance from entering Ephrath, Rachel began to give birth, but her labor was difficult. And while she was struggling to give birth, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, for this is also a son for you." Now as her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Ben-Oni, but his father named him Benjamin. Then Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem. And Jacob set up a memorial stone over her grave. It is the memorial stone over Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel journeyed on and set up his tent beyond the tower of Edur. While Israel was living in that land, Reuben went and slept with his father's concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard of it. Now Jacob had 12 sons. Leah's sons were Jacob's firstborn, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Rachel's sons were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's female servant, were Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's female servant, were Gad and Asher. These are Jacob's sons, who were born to him in Padan Aram. Then Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre of Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Now Isaac's days were 180 years. Then Isaac breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his peoples, old and full of days. So his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Chapter 36. Now these are the genealogies of Esau, that is Edom. Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan: Adah, daughter of Elon the Hittite; Aholibamah, daughter of Anah, daughter of Tishvion the Hivite; and Basemath, daughter of Ishmael, sister of Nebaioth. Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau; Basemath bore Ruel; and Aholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These were Esau's sons, who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Now Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the people of his household, as well as his livestock, all his cattle, all his possessions that he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and went to a land away from his brother Jacob. For their possessions were too numerous for them to dwell together, and the land where they were residing was unable to support them because of their livestock. So Esau lived in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So these are the genealogies of Esau, the father of Edom, in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, son of Esau's wife Adah, and Ruel, son of Esau's wife Basemath. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gotham, and Kanaz. Now Timnah was a concubine to Esau's son Eliphaz, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Esau's wife Adah. These are Ruel's sons: Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These were the sons of Oholibamah, daughter of Anah, daughter of Esau's wife Zibeon. She bore to Esau Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs of Esau's sons. The sons of Eliphaz, Esau's firstborn, were chief Teman, chief Omar, chief Zepho, chief Kenaz, chief Korath, chief Gotham, chief Amalek. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Adah. These are the sons of Esau's son Ruel: chief Nahath, chief Zerah, chief Shammah, chief Mizah. These are the chiefs from Ruel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These are the sons of Esau's wife Aholibamah: chief Jeush, chief Jalam, chief Korah. These are the chiefs from Aholibamah, daughter of Esau's wife Anah. These are Esau's sons: And these are their chiefs, that is, Edom. And these are the sons of Seir, the Horite, the inhabitants of the land: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the sons of Seir, in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Haman. Lotan's sister is Timnah. These are Shobal's sons: Alvan, Mananath, Ebal, Shepho, and Anam. These are Zibeon's sons: Ahiah and Anna, that is, the Anna who found the hot springs in the desert, while he was pasturing the donkeys of his father Zibeon. These are the children of Anna: Dishan and Aholibamah, Anna's daughter. These are Dishan's sons: Hemdan, Ishban, Itran, and Chiran. These are Ezer's sons: Bilhan, Zavan, and Achan. These are Dishan's sons: Uz and Aran. These are the chiefs of the Horites: Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zibeon, Chief Anna, Chief Dishan, Chief Ezer, Chief Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, according to their chiefly divisions in the land of Seir. Now these are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the sons of Israel. Bela, son of Beor, reigned in Edom. The name of his city was Dinhabah. When Bela died, Joab, son of Zerah from Bozrah, reigned in his place. When Joab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, who struck down the Midianites in the field of Moab, reigned in his place. The name of his city was Avit. When Hadad died, Samlah from Mashrek Had reigned in his place. When Shamlah died, Shual from Rehavat by the river reigned in his place. When Shual died, Baal-Hanan, son of Achor, reigned in his place. When Baal-Hanan, son of Achor, died, Hadar reigned in his place. The name of his city is Pu, and his wife's name was Mehetebel, daughter of Matred, daughter of Mezahab. Now these are the names of the chiefs from Esau, according to their family divisions, according to their places, by their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, Chief Jehath, Chief Aholibamah, Chief Elah, Chief Pinan, Chief Kenaz, Chief Teman, Chief Mibzar, Chief Magdiel, Chief Iram. These are the chiefs of Edom, according to their places of residence and the land of their possession. This is Esau, the father of Edom.